Okay.
Thank you. I'll make a motion that we amend the proposed annexation policy plan on page 17. Second paragraph underwater to the following statement. The sewer fields are currently undeveloped, and the city wishes them to remain so to protect the rural environment, provide a buffer zone between the city and surrounding cities, support lower sewer rates, period. Put an and in there too. So that would be for page 17.
And?
No, the and would be before the sewer rates.
I got it. Okay.
And then to also ask staff to bring an updated water code back to the city council at the next meeting, reflecting the SSD areas and the county water policy. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
And a second to that motion for those amendments. Any discussion to the motion? Yes.
Just clarification, Mark Smedley. Good motions. I'm just wondering if Heidi or Councilwoman, Councilperson Frankel wants that second. Yes, because that won't be part of the text of the annexation plan. It's an excellent idea, but it's not part of the text. That's just good.
And that's perfectly understandable.
So what's the part of the record?
Okay, so just go back and amend the policy plan, and then we'll have your other motions.
Fine, fine. So we're going to split the motion, Amy, please.
You know, remove that last part.
Just keep it. It'll be the next motion, please.
So the motion right now is the paragraph that she just read to substitute for the second paragraph on page 17 under water. And we have a second. You want to maintain your second? And all in favor say aye. Aye. I think that was unanimous. Motion passes. Now we have a second motion
That I've already said.
that she's already said, and we all know what it is. Is there a second to that motion? You want to maintain?
I'll second.
And another second to that motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
very much.
and that motion passes as well. Okay, so now we have an amended annexation policy plan.
Okay, so Mayor, if I could, honestly, I read through this last night into the morning and finally fell asleep at my desk till about 2 a.m. to keep reading. But somewhere in there it talks about, maybe it was just in the staff comments, providing city services outside of our city, especially in the southwest quadrant, something to that effect, Tony. But I just want it to be clear that it's our city policy that we do not provide water and sewer outside of our city limits. That's a policy position we took on another developer. We discussed it, and I thought had it to be a clear policy. And I don't want any wording in this annexation policy plan to suggest otherwise, and I think I read something to that effect.
On page 15 it says, in the past, Heber City has had limited extension of urban services in unincorporated areas. A fundamental policy is that if someone desires urban services, they ought to be annexed into the city. Isn't that what you want to say?
I guess that's where it is, Mayor.
But that sounds like to me that we're saying we don't give services unless they annex. Oh, there's been a limited amount of services provided on 40, however, full service needs to eventually be extended as the areas for the public.
I just want it clear, if it's not, that we don't provide services outside of our city.
I think too, that's something that's related to what he's talking about, is that there is area in the annexation policy plan that is outside of the special service districts that potentially maybe in the future could use water and sewer. So I'm assuming, given the way that it's all set up right now, given the way the MOU is, I'm assuming that there are potential areas in this annexation area that the city would serve, not JSSD and not,
But those are areas that would be annexed.
Yes.
And he's talking about areas that are not annexed.
right.
So let's focus on the policy decision that the city does not provide services outside of our city boundaries. That's what you want to be.
Well, I would read that maybe now that you've found it for me, I appreciate that. I mean, the last sentence says, in the commercial area along Highway 40, there's been a limited amount of municipal services provided. However, full service needs to be eventually be extended as the area is further developed. Well, only if they're in the annexation policy plan right now, that's what you do. I think that statement enters redundancy into what we're trying to say.
Where are you at?
On page 15, as the mayor indicated, and we could just read the whole thing. The need for municipal services in developed and undeveloped, unincorporated areas. Well, if they're unincorporated, if they're not part of our city, if they haven't been annexed yet, I just think it needs to say we don't extend the services until they're annexed.
If I may, council members, if you look at page 15, just under the capitalized heading that says the need for municipal services in developed and undeveloped unincorporated areas, you see that paragraph right there?
Absolutely.
Let me suggest this. It reads right now, in the past, Heber City has limited extension of urban services in the unincorporated areas, period. A fundamental policy is that if someone desires urban services, they ought to be annexed into the city. May I suggest your consideration to remove the word ought and put a shall there?
I think that maybe gets to the point. A fundamental policy is that if someone desires, they must be annexed into the city.
But shouldn't we also add, a fundamental policy is this, if someone desires urban services within the annexation policy plan, they shall be annexed into the city. Does that make sense?
No, but that, now
It's the
you're
same.
dictating the annexation. They must, I think what Matt's
It's the
suggesting
same.
there takes care of it. If we just say if they want the services,
Services.
they must be annexed. And if they're not in the annexation policy plan, then they don't qualify anyway to ask for annexation, correct? So, and I don't know what the point of that last sentence is then really.
I think you're just saying it's happened in the past. There has been a limited amount provided.
Well, it's that kind of, maybe, and especially the last sentence where it says maybe it needs to be extended in the future. Well, not unless they annex.
What you could do there is, looking at that last half sentence, right now it reads, full service needs to eventually be extended as the area further develops, and annexed. If that's the wish of council, that's probably where you want to go.
So I move, when you got that, that we amend this the way that Matt suggested, which is that the word ought be changed to must, and that as the needs develop, that they be annexed before services are provided.
Okay, we have a motion to amend. Is everyone clear on that motion? We have a second.
I'll second that.
And a second to the motion. Any discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. All right, we now have a policy plan that's been amended.
There's one more issue, and Ron Phillips isn't here, but I did ask him if pressurized irrigation is provided by North Village or JSSD, and he told me very briefly, and he didn't have a map, he told me that it was in some areas of the North Village only that pressurized irrigation was available. So I'm assuming, and again, I'm not sure if Kendall or Danny know, if JSSD provides any pressurized irrigation. That's just an issue that we haven't maybe fully addressed yet, even though we've certainly tried to, accommodate the SSD's plans and infrastructure and capacity projections. I'm just saying that that's something that we might have to discuss more in the future if this does end up being passed. If the city is interested in providing that or asking the SSDs to provide it, Does Kendall or Danny want to respond to that? Pressurized irrigation outside of the North Village?
To add to that, if I could, I don't think the county would want to see us going into those district areas just with pressurized, or even how we could do it. But yet, kind of as a policy idea in the city, we like to see pressurized. We require it, don't we, Tony, of any new development. So if there was to be an annexation request in an area of an SSD that does not provide pressurized irrigation, we have a conflict in our ordinances. Because we're telling them they have to use the SSDs, and yet, by our own policy, we're saying you must have pressurized irrigation. How do we handle that?
Danny and I were talking about that. We aren't privy to your discussion with Ron, but our assumption is there won't be any irrigation out there. So we would assume that there would be pressurized irrigation in those developments as they develop within the county and within SSD. We don't have a policy in the county that they have to have pressurized.
There is a policy then.
We don't have a county policy.
Okay.
But the SSD, I think, would probably.
So would the SSD allow them to water their lawn with
Mayor, if I
culinary
may,
water?
perspective microphone so that you.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to have you come to the microphone, but if there's.
Are we loud now?
Got to be louder.
No.
Thank you.
Councilman Good and myself were talking as you were discussing it. We don't have a county policy. I don't think per se to require secondary irrigation in our subdivisions. But I think the SSD, there won't be irrigation in those developments that we're aware of. So I would assume they would require or make available secondary water for lawns and so forth. So I would think, if one of those areas annexed into the city, I would think that would be a logical choice too, seeing as you have that in your policy, and that the SSD or this would provide it.
So is the advisory board of the SSDs, are you willing to provide pressurized irrigation in all those SSDs?
It's never come up in discussion, so we can't speak to that board. I would assume we would, because like you said, we're not aware of any irrigation plans in those areas.
But Kendall, that 2,000 unit subdivision that wants to go way up at the top there, Jordanelle, is, being talked about.
You mean up on Swanson?
Yeah, well, no, next to Swanson. That 2,000 unit, I think, is the Talisker property. That's 2,000 homes in there. They're not going to be irrigating their yards. It's all natural. I mean, how?
No, I don't know. We've never discussed that.
We would even need to seriously tax the culinary resources of the SSDs, or we'd have to change our ordinance, require lawns and all kinds of things.
Well, what I'm saying is we're not aware that there would be irrigation, flood irrigation. So if there
So
was
it's never
water,
anticipated, so obviously
assumption would be it would be
JSSD assumed
secondary.
they could provide enough water for whatever was already.
that would be part of the
allocated.
requirement. I would think in the SSD or in that as they develop.
But, okay, this is a sticky issue. So the SSD has a capacity plan, so much water outlined for that capacity, what, 20 years from now? 20 years in the future, 30 years?
Whatever it is,
Okay, so given that the densities are the same that we're discussing right now, why wasn't pressurized irrigation included? I'm just trying to figure that out, even though it's not used right now, there's no flood irrigation.
You're
Given the
saying in North
densities-
Village?
Well, North Village it is, right? But in Jordanelle it's not.
Well, I don't know whether it is or not. We're not sure. We'd have to ask. I would suggest maybe this very discussion would suggest the idea that maybe this annexation isn't ready to pass yet. There's maybe some vital information that ought to be looked at still.
Well, I do wish that it would have come up more in our interlocal meetings. It was on that list for that one night.
Yeah. I guess we didn't view it as a problem. We're unaware, and you did bring it up.
I've asked the question, because I was kind of aware of it, but it's just never surfaced as a hard issue in the interlocal agreement, and this honestly was something that I felt like doing anyway, and so don't blame this discussion on it, but I got some pushback this afternoon on Facebook because I just simply announced that we probably would be coming to a vote tonight, and then they wanted me to debate the whole issue, which I said,
Plus the Park Metro.
the concern that I have is that because we had a motion that passed, we had a reconsideration, we've done all kinds of work, which I thank the planning commission and Tony's office and Heidi, is, we've done a lot of work on this. It's been on the thing as a tabled item for I don't know how many, though I think that's fine that it was. That's what it needed to be. But I don't think it's been very apparent to the public that tonight we're going to decide this issue. So I make the motion that we defer, it's off the table, that we defer this to our next city council meeting. And then it's on at a definite time that everybody knows it's there, and if the public wants to have any final comment on the decision before it's passed, that they're aware that it's going to be voted on at our next city council meeting.
You're moving to continue? You're moving to continue?
To continue, yes, thank you.
So we have a motion to continue this item to the next council meeting.
I'll second it.
And a second. Is there any discussion to the motion?
The discussion to it, I just think that this is a big question that I would ask the county to get immediately onto so that we can resolve this. It affects a lot of things. We're going to allow natural sagebrush development in part of this annexed area, because otherwise we've got to see what the SSDs think their capacity is. This is a big issue. This is part of my concern about this huge area being taken on all at once. But anyway, that's my motion, and I hope we can. It's been put off for the public. I don't think very many were aware. It probably would be voted on. I confirmed that this afternoon. I immediately went to Facebook.
We're not supposed to discuss on a motion to continue, is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
You're right.
All right, no discussion. Ignore what you just said. Erase that from the record.
Too bad.
Delete that. That's not supposed to happen.
Okay, so
No, we can't discuss it.
this is a point of information.
Oh, that's different.
It's different.
Continuing, and then you can talk.
You said at the beginning of the public comment period that people that had come could speak about anything except what was on the agenda. This is on the agenda, and perhaps there are people here that want to say.
That is an excellent point.
That can be done after the relevant, non-debatable motions
relevant
before
to
us.
say about the current continuation motion. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
Due to my error, I'm going to say if anyone in the audience came to speak on this issue, I apologize for not allowing that. You may do that right now. Does anybody have a comment to make before the council votes?
Madam Chairman, the point Amy's making though
Is that we needed to vote?
we
You
cannot
have to vote on a continuation.
it has to
when
be
it's-
voted on.
And there's no,
Just vote no, and then we'll go back to this. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Oh, motion fails 3-2. All right, are there any comments from the public on this issue before the council continues? Yes, we have.
Tracy Taylor, Heber City. I do agree with Councilman Crittenden. There were some questions on Facebook this afternoon about what do you mean we're going to double the size of Heber. I've sat in a lot of these meetings, whether it's interlocal, county, or city, and I have yet, as a taxpayer of Heber City, been told what impacts this is going to have on me personally. There are a lot of citizens in Heber City on fixed incomes. They've already said so on different issues that the county is looking to raise taxes. There's a bunch of different issues obviously on the ballot this fall. I've heard from a lot of people that are very concerned about their taxes going up. I think this city council has a fiduciary duty to the citizens of this city to tell them how much their taxes are going to go up if you vote to annex. That is, in my view, one of the first things that should be brought out to the public. So not only should you continue this till the next meeting, you should be able to put in the newspaper what your projections are for taxes being raised. And if you say that there shouldn't be any taxes raised, then you should put that in the local newspaper and on Facebook, and you should have some public outreach that you said you wanted when you ran for office. So this is where I'm saying, look, this is the major issue of this doubling the size of Heber, is what are the impacts to the existing citizens of this city? I have yet to hear that. And I have yet to see a report come out of how much we're going to need to increase the planning department, the building department, the public works department. How many more salaries and benefits are we going to have to pay for to deal with the flood of development applications that are going to come through the city if you approve this annexation policy plan? So to me, I think it's only fair that these tax implications should be shared with the public before the next meeting so that they can come here and tell you how they feel about those impacts. Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public? Okay, just for the record, I just want to say that I have written articles for the Wave. I've put things on Facebook. I've spoken on KPCW and KTMP. And I would also like to say that this annexation policy area is a whole bunch of small annexations. And before any annexation could be approved, they would have to come in and have a thorough analysis of those things. One thing we've never heard is if these areas are developed in the county, how that would affect us as taxpayers, because all of those municipal services will be paid for by all county taxpayers. So if these people are annexed into a city, they also pay city taxes. So they pay more taxes, more total taxes for the services they receive than if they were county residents. And we have never talked about how the impact would be on us if it were developed in the county. I think we've done a lot of analysis. Councilmember Franco has done analysis. We had some information come from our staff members on projected staff increases, where we could be talking 20 years, we could be talking 50 years, and all these numbers, unless we have a specific area that applies for annexation, they're all just really hypothetical, and nobody really knows exactly until you look at the area being annexed and what that development might look like. As we've seen tonight, those things can change from commercial to residential, and it's all sort of in flux. So anyway, that would be my comment on the outreach that we've had, but the council needs to decide how they want to proceed.
So Mayor, if I could, my point on referring this to the next meeting was in part because of the issue we don't have an answer to that's just come up. But you only had one comment from public, because I don't think, it's not an argument whether we ought to or not, and all the things you said why we should, and all the things I've said why we shouldn't. It's about whether the people were aware, after all the gyrations, that we were going to vote on this tonight, and if they wanted any final input on it. They just were not aware. Tracy saw it on Facebook. Were you aware before?
No,
I posted at 2:30 or something.
no. And
How many people do you think have an awareness that this is going to be voted on tonight on this
Nobody.
huge issue?
Well, just a point. I think it's literally been a year ago that this idea first came up, last year in August. And then it was pushed again last November, and then it was voted on and rescinded. And this is something that, given all of those gyrations, as you say, Ron, if there had been tremendous public outcry against this, I'm sure that it would have come out during all of those times. And see, I haven't received that kind of pushback. I've see, I have tried very hard, and I think all of you have tried really hard, along with me, to make sure that this would be professionally done, efficiently done, without a cost to the current citizens of the city. I think we're going into this with our eyes wide open as to what property tax revenues would be, how impact fees would need to be assessed, what staffing levels are going to be, as well as the highest collaboration I've ever seen with the county in my many years here in the valley. We're not going to stop collaborating with the county. We're not going to reinvent the wheel that the county has done. I think that even this pressurized irrigation issue is something that's already incorporated into the overall framework of the MOU. I don't think it's a major issue. We know pressurized irrigation will be available in the North Village where there would be many more residents with their high density. Pressurized irrigation up on top of Jordanville, I think that's a minor thing that we can continue to collaborate and work with on the county. We know that there are capacity limits in the special service districts. We are not trying to circumvent the special service districts. We even want to, and the county's agreed that we could get membership and have a say in those special service districts. So even though we're finally to that point of the list, right, pressurized irrigation, what do we do there? I just feel that the framework is there, the collaboration has been set up, the MOU has been passed. Kendall?
Are we proceeding with public outcry that encouraged Councilman Hardman to change and reconsider his vote when this was defeated the last time?
Okay, you have to come up here to speak, though.
Come up.